Once upon a time, in a vibrant forest filled with tall trees and colorful flowers, there lived a hungry little caterpillar named Carl. Carl had a tiny green body with yellow spots and an insatiable appetite. Every day, Carl would munch and crunch his way through the leaves of the forest, dreaming of the day he would become a beautiful butterfly. Not too far from Carl's home, in the sunny plains just beyond the forest, hopped a joyful kangaroo named Katie. Katie was known for her infectious laughter and her love of adventure. She had a bouncy tail and strong legs that allowed her to hop great distances. Katie's days were filled with exploring the vast plains, jumping over rocks, and playing with her friends. One sunny morning, Carl the caterpillar woke up with an even bigger appetite than usual. He crawled up a tall tree in search of fresh leaves, but to his dismay, the leaves were scarce. His little tummy rumbled louder and louder as he continued his search. Meanwhile, Katie the kangaroo was on one of her morning hops, humming a happy tune. She decided to venture a little closer to the edge of the forest, having heard tales of the beautiful scenery and rich foliage. As she hopped along, she couldn't help but notice a faint crunching sound. Curious, Katie followed the sound until she found Carl sitting on a branch, looking rather forlorn. "Hi there, what's wrong?" asked Katie, tilting her head to one side. Carl looked up and sighed, "I'm so hungry, but there aren't enough leaves for me to eat." Katie's heart went out to the little caterpillar. She thought for a moment and then her eyes lit up with an idea. "Why don't you come with me to the plains? There's plenty of delicious plants there, and I'm sure you'll find something to fill you up." Carl's face brightened at the suggestion. With Katie's help, he carefully crawled onto her back. Katie gently started to hop back toward the plains, making sure not to shake too much so Carl would be safe and comfortable. When they arrived, Carl's eyes widened at the sight of the lush plants and flowers. He quickly started munching on a juicy leaf, his stomach finally feeling satisfied. But that was not all. Katie introduced Carl to many of her friends who welcomed him with open arms and paws, making him feel right at home. The days passed, and Carl and Katie became the best of friends. Carl would often hitch a ride on Katie's back as she hopped around the plains, and in return, Carl would share tales of the forest and all the wonders it held. One day, Carl felt something incredible happening. He wove himself into a chrysalis and settled on a soft leaf in Katie's favorite meadow. Katie waited patiently, excited to see what would happen next. Days turned into weeks, and finally, Carl emerged. No longer a caterpillar but a magnificent butterfly with shimmering wings of green and gold. Katie beamed with joy, and Carl fluttered his new wings with pride. "Thank you, dear Katie, for your friendship and for helping me when I was in need. Thanks to you, I've grown into something beautiful." Katie hugged Carl with her soft paws and said, "Friendship is the most wonderful thing of all. I'm so happy we've had these adventures together, and I can't wait for many more." From that day on, Carl soared through the skies while Katie hopped below, their friendship a shining example of how kindness and camaraderie can make the world a brighter place. And so, Carl the beautiful butterfly and Katie the joyful kangaroo continued their adventures, spreading happiness and positivity wherever they went.